Hello everybody, we are Arzuman brothers and we wanted to make a short video about the rebuilding process and how people can partner up with our company to rebuild or build a house from scratch. My name is Andrew, I'm the sales manager at Arzuman brothers. This is Harut, our CEO, and let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
So right now there's so much going on, from fire rebuilds. People starting from scratch are not affected by the fires, but we're living in unprecedented times. And I guess we can start from what's the current climate of rebuilding in California?
Yeah, I think given the circumstances, Andrew, there's a unique emphasis on the rebuilding process, more so than ever, actually. Again, with 18,000 structures lost, there's going to be a need to obviously rebuild a lot of the city. And we wanted to, like Andrew mentioned, we wanted to provide some information about what that process entails, also some challenges and things to look out for if you're going to embark on that process.
So I guess one of the first things that we can dive right into is, what are the challenges with rebuilding?
Absolutely, Andrew. It's funny, I like to jokingly say that it's kind of like being stuck in the Bermuda Triangle.
Right.
If you're a homeowner and you're trying to manage the build yourself, there's a lot of components that you need to manage, and you end up getting stuck in the middle and being passed blame from one to another. And for example, you end up having to deal with the architect, you end up having to deal with the engineers, you end up dealing with the interior designers of the home. On top of that, you then have to deal with the builder of the home. A company like ours, we offer a unique value to homeowners trying to rebuild their homes, in that we house all of those aspects of rebuilding all in-house. So we do all of the architectural design and planning, all the permit expediting is done in-house, all the interior design is done by us as well, and then of course all the building is done. And not only is it done by us, but because the building is the end goal, we're able to obviously understand and design to build. So anything we're designing, we're considering the construction feasibility of those designs. In other words, how do we get whatever we're trying to design in reality? And then, of course, very important aspect of that is, how much is that going to cost us? The value engineering is a key component here. When you're doing with the design build, we're able to design the value into every aspect of each design component.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because right now we're sitting in our showroom, and one thing I like pointing out to potential clients, other homeowners interested, is that being a production builder, having the client infrastructure to actually not only work with one architect or a designer, but have everybody meet you at one location under one roof, is a serious value, that one of the biggest values that we offer to homeowners, to be a one-stop shop to build their home from start to finish.
And let's speak a little bit about that, building your home start to finish. The start. How do you get started with building your home? The planning and due diligence is very key to a successful project. So it's all about the planning. So the better you plan, the less issues, the less change orders, the less problems you're going to have throughout the construction process. So really where it begins is going to be surveying, understanding the lot itself, right? Understanding all the components of the lot. In addition to doing the proper soil testing, to do a structural, or to do the structural engineering, we have to first understand what kind of soil the structure is going to be sitting on, and your soil might be different from your neighbor's soil. So that's going to be the start point is going to be understanding the lot, and that starts with the survey and the soil engineering and testing that needs to be done on the lot. Then based on that, then we're able to look at the architectural process. Developing and doing space planning, developing floor plans. After we get the floor plans approved, moving on to elevation design, understanding what the exterior look of the home is going to be. And then, and only then, once all of that gets pushed off to the permit and expediting process, that's when we tend to sit with our clients and start going over the interior design process. The interior design is also broken down to two phases. There's a modeling process where we model out every component of the home, make sure it fits with all the spaces we've created. And then only after that do we go on to the actual interior finishes and textures and materials that the house is going to be finished with, and the design that the homeowner is going to finally get. That aspect is going to be only successful if the proper steps are taken before that.
Right, and we call that phase one of
Correct.
building a
Planning and
house.
design, exactly right.
One question we get asked a lot is, obviously there's a lot of construction companies. How is AB different? What is the AB difference?
Absolutely. And the biggest component of that is really the approach we take to the design build process. And the approach is really leveraged on technology. Technology is really where we start. It's these systems that we've invested in the last decade, and it's these systems that give us the unique capabilities to manage our projects in a way that creates so much transparency and pushes the value to the homeowners. And it's that transparency by using our technology, which again is going to be the greatest benefit to each homeowner. And with that comes project management information systems, schedules being utilized, trade checklists, design checklists, architectural checklists. These technologies are what give us the ability to minimize risk and consider every aspect before we even break ground at any project. So, for example, on any given home, before we even break ground, every homeowner is provided with certain deliverables. Those things are usually, of course, the approved plan set. Then comes the permits that go along with those approved plans. But in addition to that, we give you the AB design book. The AB design book is very unique in it itself. It enables you, the homeowner, to be able to see every component of your finished home before we even do any construction itself. And that's very important because it's based on that design book and the scope of work provided by architectural and structural plans, where we're gonna then build a full line item detailed budget. So you get to see every single cost and component of your home and where the budget and where the money is being utilized. A lot of our technology and financial systems enable us to, with one click, develop reports and see how much finished materials were spent on, how much structural components were spent on, how much was spent on the outside hardscape, the outside landscape. These are the things that having the right system in place gives us the unique ability to be able to report and get clarification and communicate that clearly with every single homeowner.
Well, it's oftentimes, we joke around, are we a construction company or are we a software company? But we're somewhere in between. And what really helps us leverage just having, not depending on technology, but utilizing technology from an investment standpoint of building so many spec homes, we really built or broken down the rebuilding process to a science where you know what you're building, you know how much the budget is, what the interior design book looks like before we even break ground. Well, this pretty much sums up everything we wanted to cover in this video, and we wanted to tell you that if you have any additional questions or wanted to expand on anything we talked today, visit our website, drop us a message through our contact form, go to our Facebook, Instagram, call our office. We're here to help.
Yeah, and if there is any additional topics you guys would learn about, Andrew and I would love to provide additional information moving forward, so please do let us know.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.